Well, good afternoon, our beloveds. We are coming to you from our favorite resting place, where our another spends most of her time these days, which is in her bed. It is her office. It is her classroom setting where she studies. It is where she makes love, obviously, as one would expect. It is where she sleeps. It is where she dreams. It is where she processes. It is her safe haven. And it is also where she cries, where she makes amends mentally, where she thinks through her past and why it still hurts. It is literally her everything, her world, where all collapses into one. It is where she has spent much of the last 12 years, and also where her journey began, which means that it is going within that helps the journey of self-discovery, self-reflection, self-innovation, if you will, to find purpose in your own pain and suffering, and to find gladness in it because you have found or unearthed gifts that you would never have found if you were moving about, milling about, or living as you had. And yet most would prefer to keep the simplicity of their lives open, moving forward, because change, collapse, destruction is not anything that anyone would intentionally call forth. And yet, when it lands in your lap and it just sits there and it won't move, it won't leave until you acknowledge it, see it for what it is, and move it yourself by getting up and building a new life based on new infrastructure, new belief systems, new limitations. If you have been harmed physically and it is a permanent disability, it is something that you must incorporate into your equation. And yet, many who have gone through these systemic changes where everything was turned on its head can find purpose and potential beauty within the pain and the suffering. And it does not mean that they are sadistic. They simply are progressive, meaning it is what it is. I can either bemoan the past or I can move into the future with what I have available to me now. And this is the process of reintegrating trauma into a meaningful process where you are better after the fact than you were before, because your mind has clarity. Your intentions have been focused. The losses taught you how frivolous you were living before because you didn't appreciate your health, your well-being, your financial stability, your abundance. And when that is all stripped away, you must learn to live again authentically. And it is not for the faint of heart. And honestly, many don't make it. But remember that the universe doesn't call these things upon you. You have designed a particular life. And this does not mean that you chose to be passionless and then you chose to have a hammer fall on your head. That's not what we are saying. But there are universal laws that if you study them, you will find these patterns where you are being called forth to something deeper, richer, and more meaningful. And the journey requires you to lose something that is very important to you and meaningful and satisfying. And it just is. And then when you're on the other side, while you still may say, I don't ever want to go through this again, and what I had to give up was really too much, and I would prefer to return to that state than where I'm at now. But sometimes you just need to make peace with where you find yourselves and find grace in what is left. There are many who have been harmed more than you, and there are many who have been harmed substantially less than you. So it is not measuring your losses with others. It is more, how do you measure it within your own sense of self? Where did you grow? Where did you acquire new skills, new belief systems, new opportunities, new perspectives, new friends that you wouldn't have met or found or experienced or developed if this thing had not happened to you? Every loss has a counterbalancing gain that was hard fought, hard earned, and sacrificed for. So don't give up the past so easily, but also don't project out into the future that there is nothing left for you. Humanity is going through a huge reorganizational, restructuring process or program right now, and many of you feel it and fear it, rightfully so. But just be mindful that whatever you end up losing will provide an opportunity for growth. So don't give up all hope and find some purpose within the growth opportunity as you move towards new horizons, new opportunities, and new projects. When the world is destroyed in the blink of an eye, it is all gone. But then there is the opportunity to build something new. Give up hope for the past and build the future based on what your collective desires and needs are. Don't focus on breaking a broken system all the more. Let it crumble where it needs to, and let it stand where it still functions. We will find new opportunities, new moments of joy amidst the rubble. You will find a new day, a new dawn on the horizon, because you are human sapiens, human erectiles. You are humans. You need to remember you have not only the cognitive ability, but also the heart capacity to compassionately love one another instead of blaming each other for what is going wrong right now. Hunker down, come together, and build a new vision of a new earth as the human erectiles that you are. And so it is. Namaste.